And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, from a raucous Highland High School. We welcome you in to Week 11 of 6A high school football. Tonight, it's your Highland Hawks and the visiting Desert Ridge Jaguars. My name is Jordan Lang, alongside my partner, Matt Tydinko. Matt, the Hawks coming in tonight at an 8-1 clip. They've been a good team the whole year.
Absolutely.
This Desert Ridge team, however, coming in at 3-5. They've lost quite a few in a row, and they're hanging on to their playoff hopes at number 15. For the Hawks, they're looking for seeding. What are they going to need to do to win tonight's game?
For Desert Ridge, they definitely need to put a lot out on the line tonight, as it is the regular season closer. And as you know, they're fighting to stay in playoff contention. So Highland coming off a dominant win over a very poised Queen Creek. You know, Desert Ridge has a lot of work to do tonight. And if they do so, hats off to them, because Highland is a tough team to compete with.
Highland sure is, and we saw that, as you mentioned, Matt, last week against Queen Creek, a 38-7 victory against the then number 3 Bulldogs. It was a great win for that team. The Hawks defense actually even took out the 70th ranked, I believe, 70th ranked player in Arizona, Devin Larson, the Bulldogs quarterback. And this defense is going to need to do the same thing tonight to stop a really good Desert Ridge running game. I know their running back had 300 yards in the last game. So, Matt, you played football. What does a defensive line have to do to stop a runner like that?
They need to fight hard in the trenches, fill those gaps, allowing the linebackers to flow over and get to their assigned gaps as well. And that's what it's going to take to shut down such a strong running team, because that is what Desert Ridge will heavily focus on tonight.
Well, we've got football coming up for you, but first, let's meet tonight's starting lineups for your Highland Hawks.
Number 10, class of 2019, Caleb Herbert, quarterback.
Number 1, class of 2019, Connor Colmore, running back and safety.
55, class of 2019, Colton Allen, left tackle.
Number 66, class of 2019, Bryson Kelly, offensive guard.
Number 70, class of 2019, Caleb Allen, center.
Number 51, class of 2019, Connor Ward, offensive guard.
Number 76, class of 2019, Jared Eisentrout, right tackle.
Number 87, class of 2019, Kyle Hester, tight end.
Number 17, class of 2020, Tanner Crandall, wide receiver D.
19, class of 2019, Cody Zimmerman, wide receiver.
Number 13, class of 2019, Noah Burdick, wide receiver.
Number 89, class of 2021, Cooper Brown, defensive end.
Number 9, class of 2019, Cooper Holman, defensive end, tight end.
Number 6, class of 2020, Daniel Wood, running back and outside linebacker.
Number 22, class of 2019, Cord Krisman, middle linebacker.
Number 47, class of 2019, Griffin Nielsen, middle linebacker.
Number 20, class of 2019, Ryan Martinez, defensive back.
23, class of 2020, Jay Sean Lee, cornerback.
Number 2, class of 2019, Dayton Huffman, running back and corner.
Number 24, class of 2019, Cade K-Mac, free safety.
Number 1, class of 2019, Connor Colmore, running back and safety.
Number 8, class of 2020, Robert Kingsford, outside linebacker.
Well, there are the starting lineups for your Hawks. However, an omission tonight, Dayton Huffman not in the lineup for the Hawks under concussion protocol, so he misses his senior night tonight. By the way, Matt, senior night tonight, it's a big thing for every high school. What's it like for these players coming out and playing on their senior night?
Senior night is a big night, you know, for a lot of these kids, as talented as they are. This is going to be their final regular season hoorah, and they're going to showcase the effort and love that they put into the sport over the past 4 years, into this night, into the possible playoff games in the future. So it's a big night. It really is, and it means a lot to you, especially when you start to reminisce later on after the season.
Yeah, absolutely. I know I played baseball in high school, and I still look back on my senior night, and it was one of the best games of my life. I went out there with a purpose, and I wanted to play the best that I can. I'm sure the Same concept is in the works here for these Highland players, and you mentioned they're playing for playoff games, and that's plural because they basically are going to have a playoff game in the first round, the number 4 team in 6A right now in the final week.
This game is important for both teams because if Highland gets sloppy and doesn't perform to the challenges and the talent that they're used to providing on a nightly basis in practice and games, as well as Desert Ridge, then it's going to be, effective upon how they place in playoffs for both of these teams.
Well, the captain's out there on the field tonight for the Hawks from left to right. That's number 13, the wide receiver, Noah Burdick. The second one in from the left, number 9, Cooper Holman. Number 11, Jake Fallagrady out there. And then on the far right, number 51, the offensive guard, Connor Ward. All seniors out there tonight, as expected. Highland coming into tonight, as we mentioned, in the open, 8-1. Just a lone loss to Mountain Point. They lost 48-27 in that game. That was 3 games ago now. As the coin toss is underway, it looks like the Hawks will receive the opening kickoff. And Matt, with that, we'll likely see senior running back and defensive back and also kick and punt returner Connor Cullimore out there to start the game.
What can't Connor Cullimore do out there?
That really is the question. I mean, he can do so much on the field. It seems like when there's a play on offense, when there's a play on defense, he's making a difference, whether he has the ball in his hands or not, whether he's running with the ball or he's making blocks or making tackles. It seems like he's always involved.
One thing I'm curious about is, let's see him throw it one time.
Yeah. I believe it or not, I think Connor Cullimore has attempted a pass this season. Correct me if I'm wrong. I do believe he's 1 for 1 in pass attempts this year. Yep, 1 for 1 with 21 yards.
100% completions.
The touchdown pass, too. So we're almost ready to get underway here. The Desert Ridge Jaguars visiting your Highland Hawks. We thank you for joining us here on Hawks Nest TV on our YouTube channel. Number 80, Anthony Valenzuela out there to kick off. And we are underway. And it's a short squib kick fielded out by the 25-yard line by Highland. Still on his feet as a return man. And finally tackled inside the 30-yard line are the Hawks. This crowd is loud, Matt.
This crowd is energetic. Hype, ready to go. Last regular season game. I'd be excited too.
Absolutely. Well, that'll bring up senior quarterback Caleb Herbert. And Matt, you and I were talking before the game. Caleb Herbert's had an amazing season, 124 completed passes out of 179 attempts as he stands in shotgun formation for the first play from scrimmage. Takes a high snap, hands off to Cullimore, who finds some space up the middle. And there he goes, finds some space to the near side and cuts back, gets more yardage, and finally is going to be gang tackled out across the Desert Ridge 30-yard line.
Electric.
You said it, Matt.
First play of the game, and he's already marching down the field with the ball.
He's such a dynamic runner. He knows where to go and how to get through those holes in the Jaguars' defense, and any defense, really.
I'm sure it's
and
a
we've
blessing,
seen it all
too,
season.
To run behind that offensive line.
Absolutely. Got to get all the credit, to the offensive line. Herbert in shotgun formation, looking for a screen, complete to Noah Burdick near side. Finally forced out of bounds at around the 17-yard line. Burdick, the, I believe, most targeted receiver. Second most targeted receiver, 32 receptions, 573 yards on the year. Does have the most receiving yards on the team, however. And that was his 33rd catch of the year. Herbert in shotgun formation. Two receivers out left. Play action, looking again over the middle, complete, and into the end zone. Touchdown Hawks here on senior night. It's number 19, Cody Zimmerman. And the Hawks are on the board first. We've seen it all season long, Matt. The Hawks able to get down the field early, get into the end zone early, and that's what gives them a momentum through the whole game.
3 plays is all it took.
Mcnamara's extra point is good. And with 10 minutes and 39 seconds to go here in the first, the Hawks are up 7-0. I don't know about you, Matt, but I think if I'm Desert Ridge and if I'm their head coach, Jeremy Hathcock over there on the far sideline, I'm drilling into those kids. You got to play better run defense. Can't give up that big run on the first play from scrimmage.
Especially when you know the capabilities that this Highland team has and the way they're able to go and execute even when they're down and can come up from big situations. So this Desert Ridge team must come up with a plan now to get not only into this game, but to keep that Highland offense off the field as much as they can.
Well, Mcnamara out to boot it away for Desert Ridge. For Highland to Desert Ridge. And it'll go through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Speaking of Austin Mcnamara, one of the best punters in the nation, also does the kicking for Highland. He's pretty good at that, too. Mcnamara just got an offer from UCLA this week, so some big news for him. As now Desert Ridge will take the field. An interesting note about Desert Ridge, last week against Mountain Ridge, they completed just 2 passes. They only attempted to pass 4 times, and their 2-star running back, Lucas Wright, had 36 carries in that game for 297 yards and 2 touchdowns. And they give it to him there, and he's got space up the middle. Stopped after a first down by the Hawks. And the Jaguars move the chains. They get set up quickly in shotgun formation. And on the ground again is Wright. Out there playing quarterback tonight for Desert Ridge, number 12, Cooper Schmidt. Schmidt has only played in 1 other game on the season. Second down and 2. Schmidt under center, sends a man in motion. They give it to him on the jet sweep. Highland trying to get the stop, and they are unable to do so. Number 14, Andrew Chino on the end around. Chino, one of the main wide receivers for the Jaguars. On the year, 14 receptions, 268 yards, 2 touchdowns. Also worth mentioning is that the Jaguars only have 4 receiving touchdowns on the year. Not a very pass-heavy team. Schmidt under center. Wide receiver out to his right, but they give it to the halfback, who gets about 3 yards before he's tackled by a barrage of Hawks. Turns into second down and 8.
You mentioned that this Desert Ridge team isn't very pass heavy, but when you have a running back like Lucas Wright, you rely on a weapon like that throughout most of your plays. He comes up big, he puts up big numbers. Of course I'm going to run the ball.
Schmidt rolling to his right, and he's sacked. Taken down in the backfield by number 22, Cord Crisman. Great job by Crisman to get around the offensive line. And in on that tackle, 3rd down. And it looks like about 13 to go for the Jaguars. And to hear those cowbells ringing. 7-0 Hawks, 3rd and long here for the Jaguars. Still in the huddle. They break now. Schmidt will set up under center. And now they'll look to the sideline, and they'll take a timeout, I believe, to avoid a delay of game penalty. So a big stand there, Matt, by the Hawks defense.
Yes, the Hawks defense is known for stopping opposing offenses really early in a drive. They have that presence. They have that power to do so. And although it's early in the game, I think Desert Ridge, it's important for them to get this first down because it took 3 plays for that Highland offense to score. I can guarantee you that they are ready to go back out there and score that fast again and run it up. So that way this Desert Ridge team does not have a chance to ruin that seeding that they're shooting for come playoff time.
Well, if you missed the open, Desert Ridge ranked 15th in 6A. The top 16 schools get into the playoffs. Those seedings will be announced tomorrow morning. And here on 3rd and 13, it gets loud again. Schmidt under center. And they give it to the back. Again, that's right. Scampers for a gain of about 10 yards, but short of the first down marker. It'll bring up 4th down.
Looks as if the Desert Ridge offense will stay out there and try to convert.
Yeah, 4th down and 3 there. And you got to think that maybe they're going to try to draw a Highland defensive lineman off sides here. We'll see Schmidt again under center. 2 backs behind him. Wide receiver out to his left. And now a penalty marker down. Did they get Highland to jump? No, they did not. Penalty is on the offense. It ends up being a 5-yard penalty, making it 4th and 8. And Desert Ridge will come back out to punt now. Back to receive for the Hawks is Connor Cullimore. And the punt goes out of bounds at around the 30-yard line there on the far side. And that's where the Hawks will start their second drive of the game.
How many plays do you think it'll take for Highland's offense to get into the end zone?
Well, I think if Desert Ridge can't stop Connor Cullimore in the backfield here on this first play, they're going to be in trouble. I'm going to put the over-under at 7.5, and I'll take the under. I think I might take 7 plays. Herbert in shotgun formation all alone, and sacked in the backfield, unable to evade the pressure of the Jaguars.
That's the kind of pressure Desert Ridge will need to have all night on Caleb if they want to get into this game and possibly beat these Highland Hawks.
Loss of 4 on the play, 2nd down and 14. The Hawks get set up quickly, shotgun again, and a man jumped on the far side of the defensive line for Desert Ridge. That'll basically negate that sack. A 5-yard penalty will turn it into 2nd down and 9.
Caleb Herbert, very good at getting the defense to jump on that fake snap.
Seems to do that a lot early in the game. Get some extra yardage early. Out of the gun, they hand it off to Cullimore to the far side. Gets the first down, I believe. Maybe he stepped out of bounds prior to the marker. We'll see where they spot him. And they are going to call it short, I believe. It'll be 3rd down and about 2. Connor Cullimore on the season. 72 carries, 671 yards. Jeez. The man is a horse. 12 touchdowns. Oh, yeah, and receiving the ball, 11 receptions, 164 yards. And there he is on the ground again. Oh, check that. That's Daniel Wood, who nets the Hawks a first down. Ball spotted at the Highland 39, 1st and 10.
Daniel Wood is that spark plug that you see on both sides of the ball as well. Can make big plays. Very reliable and versatile.
This team for 2 years has had a really good running game between Connor Cullimore, Dayton Huffman, and Daniel Wood. Wood, a junior this year. However, his brother was on varsity last year. He has since graduated, and Highland just won't go down on the run game again. Oh, just kidding. That's Max Davis, the sophomore. And Davis gets enough yardage for another Hawks first down, marked at midfield.
Way to keep his legs moving when you know the whistle wasn't blown. That's something that's coached. A way to demonstrate that right there.
He got an extra 6 yards there, so Herbert shotgun formation, 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Looking right to the sideline, complete to Noah Burdick for a first down and more. Burdick tackled out of bounds at the 32. And the Hawks again with great pace getting down the field towards the end zone. 4 minutes, 48 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Senior night here at Highland High School. The Hawks leading the visiting crosstown rival Desert Ridge Jaguars by the score of 7-0. Highland trying to get into the end zone for the second time in the quarter. The first time was a touchdown pass from Herbert to wide receiver Cody Zimmerman. Trips out to the left. Herbert looking for a screen, now looking downfield, and he caught it! Touchdown!
Wow.
Separation there by number 3. Zach Schroeder. We apologize. Zach Schroeder not on our roster tonight here, but Schroeder in for the touchdown. And McNamara out for the extra points to make it 14-0. The crowd goes silent. The kick is up and through, and the Hawks have a 2-score lead. Great job by Schroeder there to get separation out on the edge. Four minutes, 32 seconds left here in the first, and the Hawks with a 14-0 lead. The 2 touchdown passes tonight for Caleb Herbert net him 17 on the year. It's quite a big number.
A 17 touchdown to 2 interception ratio is ridiculous for a high school quarterback.
It absolutely is. And you look at some of these quarterbacks here in 6A, seeing guys like Chubba Purdy at Perry with 29, Jack Miller at Chaparral with 27. But Caleb Herbert can really hold his own. He's got such great pocket poise. He's so patient. And that's what allows him to be so good, especially in terms of that ratio. He never throws the ball away where he shouldn't. Again, that's 17-2 touchdown to interception ratio.
And boy, does he know how to place that ball. Puts it where only his receiver can get it.
Week after week. McNamara's kick through the back of the end zone for a touchback, and Desert Ridge will start at their own 20.
That also says that the receivers run pristine routes, allowing him to have multiple looks, being able to put the ball wherever most opportunistic.
Yeah, the chemistry between Herbert and his receivers, Noah Burdick, Tanner Crandall, Connor Cullimore, among others.
I think that's what makes this Highland offense very difficult to defend. They can kill you with the run, kill you with the pass, and you don't know what you're defending play by play.
Desert Ridge keeps it on the ground, only gets a couple of yards before getting stopped. Gain of a yard on the play. Looks like a long yard. Looks more like 2nd and 8, but they've got it marked officially as 2nd down and 9 on the scoreboard. 4 minutes to go here in the first. Hawks leading 14-0. Schmidt under center, and they'll give it to Wright, who's trying to find space behind his blockers, but is stopped behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of about 3 yards.
The Highland defense was in the backfield half a second after the ball was snapped. That's how electrified they are right now.
How about this defense all season, Matt? They've been really good. I know there were a couple of question marks coming in this year, really young. A lot of newer guys in the starting lineup, but this defense has been one of the best. It seems like game after game they come out and they shut offenses down. Schmidt hands off to Wright again, trying to get some yardage up the middle, unable to do so. Forward progress stopped after a gain of, we'll call it 2 yards. Bring up 4th down after the 3rd and 10. It'll be 4th and about 6 or 7. And now here with Desert Ridge, the ball marked at the 24-yard line of the Jaguars. Hawks are going to get really good field position again. Cullimore out there to field the punt. Kick is away. Takes a bounce at the 40, and Cullimore is going to let it die. And it takes a great Desert Ridge roll towards the 15-yard line, and that's where it will stop. Stopped by number 13, Koa Tuipala. Tuipala, a senior strong safety. Well, I thought the Hawks were going to have great field position to start off the drive, but they're actually at the worst spot in terms of field position they've been all game through their first 3 drives. 14-0 Hawks, 2 minutes, 21 seconds left here in the first. Herbert in shotgun formation, 3 receivers out wide. They give it to Cullimore, trying to find some room to the near side, and he breaks free. And Cullimore's going to turn on the Jets, and he's pushed out of bounds past the 45-yard line into Jaguar territory. Matt, is it just me, or does it look like Connor Cullimore isn't even trying?
Well, at this point, it looks like a cakewalk. He just took the whole distance of the punt in the run and got them into almost into the other red zone.
Cullimore forced out of bounds at the Jaguar 36-yard line. That's where Herbert will set up in shotgun. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Possible screen play here to the left side. They give it off. Again up the middle. And breaking free is Daniel Wood. Touchdown, Hawks. What a surprise.
2 plays. Wow.
And with 1 minute and 50 seconds to go here in the first quarter.
2 plays, 2 runs, 2 different running backs. The versatile and the versatility of this team is deadly. They have depth and determination from each player.
They really can hurt you everywhere. McNamara's kick is up and good. And Highland with 1 minute and 50 seconds to go here in the first quarter. I can't believe I'm saying this, Matt. Has a 3-possession lead over Desert Ridge.
The first quarter. Wow.
Well, Desert Ridge coming in, the least amount of points that they allowed on the year was 7 when they beat Corona del Sol. That was in week 5 in Tempe at Corona. The most points they have allowed was in the following week against Chandler. They played Chandler at home in Mesa. They got beat 48-13. And if Desert Ridge isn't careful, Highland might put up a bigger number than 48. And it seems like here in this first quarter, that number might not be too far away.
Just 10 points above what they put up against Queen Creek last week.
Yeah, and that's a great Queen Creek team, by the way. Queen Creek is no pushover.
Oh, no, not at all.
They were ranked the number 3 team in the state going into last week after the loss to Highland. However, they are bumped down to number 7 as McNamara's kick into the end zone for a touchback. A look at the standings here in the 6A Central. Of course, the division both these teams are in. And right now, this division has 5, count them, 5 out of the 6 teams in this division, if the playoffs started today, would be heading to the postseason. Highland at number 4, Desert Vista at number 5, Queen Creek 7, Mountain Point 8, and of course this Desert Ridge team here at number 15. So this is a deadly division, and Highland has been really, really good inside of it. They've won every game, they've won every game except for the game against Mountain Point in the division. 3-1 in the region and 8-1 on the season. Desert Ridge keeps it on the ground there. A couple of yards gained by Wright before he's tackled by the Hawks defensive line. And historically, for these two teams, they've met each of the last 2 years. This is now the 3rd straight year that they're meeting. Desert Ridge actually has won the last 2 matchups. Speaking of last year, Desert Ridge also the number 2 team in the state last year. Lost a lot of players this year, however. And they're struggling to stay in the playoff race.
Jordan, if you are Highland and you're fresh off a win over a dominant Queen Creek who beat Mountain Point, who beat you just a few weeks ago, 48-27, what is your thought process going into the playoffs, ranked number 4 when Mountain Point is ranked number 8, and the possibility of meeting them again?
Well, I think we saw that last year, Matt. Mountain Point played Highland and beat Highland last year in the regular season. It was a really close game, one of the premier games for the Hawks last year. And, of course, they met the Pride in the second round of the playoffs last year.
Absolutely.
Got eliminated, I believe it was 44-7, if I'm not mistaken, in the quarterfinals round. So, I mean, I'm sure if they meet in the playoffs again, Highland is definitely going to want revenge for this year. And not only for this year, but also for last year and the 0-2 mark that they had against them there.
Would that win over Queen Creek give you some confidence over this year's possible rematch in the postseason?
Absolutely, I think so. Schmidt hands the ball off to Wright, who is tackled after a gain of about 3 yards. It'll bring up 3rd down. And you know, Matt, we talked about it in the open. This rush defense has to be really good to stop Lucas Wright, and they've been really good, yes.
Absolutely. Quick to get in the backfield, getting off their blocks, the linebackers filling their gaps, DBs quick to recognize the play and be there as a second defense, ensuring that the running back doesn't get to the second level.
30 seconds to go here in the first. Schmidt is going to give to Wright, who's going to try to throw it down the field. Has a man open, incomplete, and a flag comes in for what looks to be a pass interference penalty. And for Highland, that one was pretty evident. Penalty is going to be called on number 21, Hunter Kasprick. And it'll be a 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down for Desert Ridge.
In that situation, what my DB coach always taught me, you see your receiver looking up and putting up his hands. You don't touch him, and you put your hands mirroring his. And right there, it's unfortunate that, Kyle got the call against him. Or Hunter, I'm sorry, excuse me. However, I'm pretty sure this defense is poised enough to know that they can easily put Desert Ridge on another 3 and out. We shall see here.
21.9 seconds to go here in the first. Hawks leading 21-0. And if you're just joining us, boy, have you guys missed a lot. 3 quick touchdowns. The first one, a touchdown catch by Cody Zimmerman. The second one by Zach Schroeder. And Daniel Wood with the third touchdown of the game on a run into the end zone.
I believe you got that second drive number of plays right earlier, Jordan. We had a 3-play drive, 7-play drive, and a 2-play drive.
Schmidt keeps and carries and jumps forward for about 4 yards. We'll bring up 2nd and 6. Again, Cooper Schmidt, a 6', 175-pound senior, not the man that they normally start for Desert Ridge. The last couple of games, it's been the sophomore Austin Cobb. Not sure if Cobb is a replacement for Schmidt. Schmidt only played the opening game of the year, as now the first quarter has come to a close. We score the Hawks 21 and the Jaguars nothing. Well, for Desert Ridge, they're 1-3 in this section. And Cooper Schmidt has only played in one game, attempted 4 passes, completed 2 of them for a total of 21 yards. It's possible injury for Schmidt. Just speculating, not sure on that, but last game he played in was on August 17th against Red Mountain. That was a 24-6 loss that the Jaguars suffered. 2nd down and 7 as the second quarter gets underway. Schmidt under center. They'll give it to Wright, who is stopped at the line of scrimmage and falls forward. Let's see where they mark him. Either no gain or a gain of about 2 on the play. Looks like they're going to give him the 2 yards. It brings up 3rd down and about 4.
This Desert Ridge offense needs something to spark.
Yeah, Matt, I think you said it. They need it here on this play, on this 3rd down and short. They're calling it 3rd and 3. Schmidt lined up under center. They give it to Wright, and Wright stopped behind the line of scrimmage. A big stop by the Highland defensive line. And it'll bring up 4th down.
There's that man, Cooper Holman. Known for making plays. A big man, big body. How would you feel trying to block Cooper Holman?
Cooper Holman is super fast off the defensive end. He's just so explosive, and he gets into the backfield with so much ease. It's got to be really hard to block him out on the edge. 4th down, and the offense stays out there. Schmidt looking to pass, pressured in the pocket, and intercepted by the Hawks. An interception for Highland, and they take over. A turnover on down / interception, if you will.
Almost would have been better to just swat the ball, better field positioning. But I mean, just by 15 yards.
That's got to be instinct, right?
Oh yeah, you want that pick, especially on senior night. Come on, man. I'm going for the interception too.
Trying to figure out who came down with that ball. Number 47, Griffin Nielsen. So Nielsen credited with the interception, and the Hawks take over at the 22-yard line. Herbert in shotgun formation. They hand it to Cullimore, who dives forward and gains about 2. Brings up 2nd down and 8. Now a penalty marker down. A face mask penalty on the defense, so that will move Desert Ridge back and Highland forward. And an automatic Hawks 1st down ensues. 10 minutes, 19 seconds to go here in the first half. Hawks leading 21-0. Looking for a big statement win here on senior night. Senior quarterback Caleb Herbert in shotgun formation. 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Sends Kyle Hester in motion, and now another penalty flag. This one will likely be on the offense. It is a false start. A 5-yard penalty, and it'll be 1st down and 15. Well, Matt, for a team that generally commits a lot of penalties in the first half, Highland has been pretty clean thus far.
Yeah, it's pretty surprising to...
Herbert shotgun looking down the field. Has a man. Dives incomplete. Ooh. Was looking for Noah Burdick. Couldn't reel it in. Good route there by Burdick, but just overthrown by Caleb Herbert. Brings up 2nd down and 15. Shotgun again for Herbert. Takes the snap, 3-step drop, pressured, and now finds a man on the screen. That's Connor Cullimore, who finds some yards, gets a 1st down and more. And tackled out of bounds into Jaguar territory at the 46. There it is again. Connor Cullimore, when he gets the ball in his hands, just able to find room to run.
Such an aggressive downhill runner as well. But don't let him fool you. He can make a clean cut and have you stuck in mud.
The word that Jeff and I use often is shifty.
Shifty.
And I think that he's able to move so well laterally.
If you were to compare him to a professional running back, which running back are you going with?
That's a great question as it's incomplete. Down the sideline there, Highland looking for a pass interference call, and Herbert looking for Burdick. If I had to compare Connor Cullimore to an NFL running back, you know, I'm not sure I watch enough of the NFL or know enough about how those backs run to compare him to a guy. Do you have anybody in mind?
I have 2. and they're easily top 5 quality. I see David Johnson or Le'Veon Bell because he has the power, the shiftiness, the patience, and the ability to find an open lane and make a play.
Yeah,
nothing.
Now that you mention it, I think you're right. As Herbert hands off again, this time it's Wood who gets the first down after about a 12-yard gain. But Matt, no, now that you mentioned it about Cullimore, Johnson's toughness is what you see in Cullimore. He's able to really get that power downfield, and Le'Veon Bell's ability to really follow the blocks of his offensive line.
And as I mentioned earlier, running behind that line must be, you can tell the communication is on par.
Oh, absolutely. And this offense will always credit their line.
As well deserved.
Herbert in shotgun. They give it to Wood, who's trying to find, play action, and it's a fade down the field, incomplete. Some miscommunication there as Herbert was looking for Cody Zimmerman, and Zimmerman just didn't cut downfield. Though we don't see many incompletions from Caleb Herbert. Coming into tonight's game, believe it or not, folks, of the 6A quarterbacks that have attempted 170 passes on the year, Caleb Herbert's completion percentage at .693 is the best in 6A. High snap that time, and a second straight incompletion. Looking far side that time. I believe that was Tanner Crandall. And that brings up 3rd down and 10. So an uncharacteristic 2 straight incompletions there for Caleb Herbert. You better knock on wood. Last week against Queen Creek, Herbert 215 yards passing, 2 touchdowns on 14 for 19. Takes a shotgun snap, play action. Has plenty of time, looks downfield, and they made the catch! Touchdown! Number 13, Noah Burdick, yet again. It seems like every time Caleb Herbert throws one up for Burdick, Burdick finds a way to come down with it. The extra point is up and good, and it's a 28-0 game.
Just when it's 3rd and long, they make it happen. They don't go for first down. They shoot for the touchdown.
I'm not sure if you saw there, Matt. I believe Burdick broke double coverage there and broke free.
And he outran the safety and the corner playing man on him.
Three touchdown passes so far for Herbert. And that's a big one there to Burdick to put the Hawks up 28-0. Still plenty of time to go here in the second quarter as well. 8 minutes and 38 seconds to be exact. Well, I'm not saying there's any common denominators here, Matt, but so far, Highland is beating up on the Desert Ridge Jaguars 28-0. Back in week 3 of the season, Highland also beat up on another Jaguars team from Boulder Creek. The score of that game was 70-20.
They just found the end zone. They had the nose for it so many times that night. And it seems the pattern is the same here on this fine Friday night as well in October. And, you know, it could be that they're electrified, that it's the last regular season game and playoffs are about to start and they're a high ranking. But it also takes into account the great coaching staff the determination for this team to bounce back from any struggles they've ever gone through. It shows a lot from this team. However, I'm sure they're smart enough to know that they cannot let their gas off the pedal.
The end around to Andrew Chino. They ran that play earlier in the game, stopped near side after a gain of about 6 or 7 yards. Brings up second and short. Yeah, man, I think the Hawks just need to play a team called the Jaguars every night, and they'd be winning every game by 50 points.
They'll be scoring a lot.
Second down and 3, Schmidt under center. And again, they give it to Chino on the end around. And Chino tackled in the backfield for a loss. Daniel Wood in on the tackle for the Hawks. Penalty flag in on the play, however.
Jordan, correct me if I'm wrong, but do high school playoffs determine on a point spread as well?
In terms of what?
In terms of seeding.
So I believe the way that they do it is there's a committee that votes on who should be at what seed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And right now in the rankings, Highland obviously 4th and Desert Ridge 15th, but they also rate the teams in terms of their strength of schedule, and they give them a numerical rating. So like the number 1 Chandler Wolves right now, as we're looking at the rankings here in 6A, their rating is above 19, and it goes down from there. Now the crowd gets loud on third down, and a timeout, I believe, taken by Desert Ridge, their second of the half. Oh, it's their last timeout of the half. No more timeouts here in the first half. And they've still got 8 minutes and 13 seconds of football to play.
That's crucial.
It certainly is. Going back to the rankings here in 6A, though, they are rated by there's a number of how good they are. They make it a numerical number, and the higher that number, the higher you are in the seeding. They also rate how good the opponents are, and that also factors into where you're seated. So each of the top 5 teams in 6A with a record of 8-1. The top 5 reading right now from 1 to 5. Chandler, Pinnacle, Liberty, your Hawks, and Desert Vista. Not far behind at 7-2 are Perry at number 6 and Queen Creek at number 7. Mountain Point at number 8 at 5-4. Brophy Prep at number 9 at 7-3. And Red Mountain rounding out the top 10 at 7-2. Third down, and the Jaguars are stopped in the backfield.
Took them 1.4 seconds to reach the ball carrier.
Tackle made by Hunter Kasprick. 5'8", 160-pound defensive back. And that brings up 4th down and 7. And Desert Ridge will have to punt it away again. Correct me if I'm wrong, this will be 3 punts and an interception.
Yes, sir.
Cullimore back to receive. In between the 40 and 35-yard lines of Highland, a high punt. And Cullimore calls for the fair catch. And he makes the play at the Highland 38-yard line, and that's where the Hawks will set up again. 7 minutes, 24 seconds to go. And with that, how about a word from our executive sponsors tonight? Thank you to our platinum sponsor, Greg Allen and Allen Family Medicine, for your support. When it comes to your family's health, Allen Family Medicine is there for you. Allen Family Medicine. Thank you to our platinum sponsor, Alicia Holman and UCI Realty, for your support for all of your real estate needs. Think of Alicia Holman and UCI Realty. They will help you score a touchdown when buying or selling your home. UCI Realty. Herbert in shotgun formation, Zimmerman in motion, and They give it to Wood on the ground, coming near side, gets the first down and more, and powerfully running all the way out to the Jaguars' 30-yard line is Daniel Wood. This crowd has been loud all night, Matt, and I think if this continues, Highland's going to put up a big number, and I think I might even go as far to say that they could put up more than they put up against Boulder Creek. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself.
Desert Ridge is looking tired already. They're out of timeouts. They're down 4 possessions. Highland keeps running the ball, passing it, running down the clock. What do you do at this point if you're trying to fight back into this game? To get back in this game, you can't be giving up big runs like the one they just gave up with Daniel Wood carrying the ball.
And I hate to say this here in the second quarter with 7 minutes and 13 seconds to go, still plenty of football to play, but Highland up 28-0. It's seeming more and more like this may just be a tune-up game before their first playoff game against whoever their opponent may be. We'll find that out tomorrow, but it seems like Highland just has it all down right now.
Absolutely, and one of the things that I've only seen that Highland could fine-tune is some of the connections on these passing plays. This is an exception because that was an incredible pass from Caleb Herbert.
Now you said it, Matt. A great catch there again by Zach Schroeder. Good for another Hawks first down, and they'll move the chains again. And how about that ball placement again by Caleb Herbert? Just put it right there, and
right on
Schroeder
the outside
able to make the play
towards the sideline, where his receiver is able to come down with it, get his feet in bounds, and get out of bounds to stop the clock.
Now Herbert play action, looking for the end zone, has Zimmerman. Incomplete. Wow, he had Cody Zimmerman wide open there and just couldn't get it to him. Brings up second down and 10.
Great recovery by that safety to hold them from scoring another touchdown here midway through the second quarter. However, they're going to need more plays like that if they want to get back into this game or stop Highland from running up the score. I'm suspecting a screen pass right here.
Does look like they're out in that formation, and now looks like they're going to call an illegal formation penalty, or maybe a false start. I believe it's a false start, actually. It's a 5-yard penalty. And it'll be second down and 15 now. An illegal motion. Hawks will set up in the same formation, possibly expecting a screen here to Cody Zimmerman on the near side. Herbert in the gun. However, they give it to Cullimore. Check that, Max Davis. Goodness, it's hard to tell these running backs apart. They're so similar in how well they run.
And how powerful they run.
Absolutely.
I thought it was Connor, too.
This Highland Hawks running game is going to be good for another couple of years. Daniel Wood, still a junior. He'll be a senior next year. Max Davis, who you saw there on that play, a sophomore. He had a touchdown against Queen Creek in the late minutes of the game. Zimmerman in motion. Herbert trying to get Desert Ridge to jump. And now I believe Brock Farrell going to call a timeout and talk to his Hawks. That's the first timeout of the half for Highland with 5 minutes and 55 seconds to go here in the second quarter.
You can tell that this Highland offense, or this Highland team in general, pushes each other to be their best. And my favorite saying in relation to that is iron sharpens iron. You see Connor Cullimore, Daniel Wood, and Max Davis all running hard, competing to do their best. And you can tell it's through practicing with one another and pushing each other to exceed the expectations of their teammates, coaches, family, friends, fans, and opposing teams.
Yeah, Matt, I was out at practice on Wednesday for about an hour and a half. I watched practice out there, shot some video. And I think what you said, the iron sharpens iron thing, I really think that's true for this team. They just get better and better and better because they're all so good.
Absolutely. And you see it at the depth of every position. You take one player out and put another, they're coming up with the big plays that the other position player was coming up with.
Similar formation, low snap, fumbled, and now recovering is Davis and finding some room, spinning across the 15-yard line, and in for a first down is Davis. And the Hawks move the chains. How about that? A play that looked destined for failure ends up being very successful. A first down for the Hawks. Ball marked.
That's a young bull right there.
Absolutely. Ball marked at the 18-yard line.
Effort plays like that shows the amount of heart a player can have.
Herbert gives to Cullimore, who stopped in the backfield there by number 20, Gabe Segura. Segura, 5'11" 205-pound senior. Plays outside linebacker, also plays fullback.
Out in shotgun. Hard count.
Yeah, we don't see much of Caleb Herbert under center. Barely any, to be more specific. Now he'll step back in the shotgun formation. Two receivers out right, one to the left. But they're going to give it to Cullimore, who's got some space to the near side. And out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. Marked out at, I believe, the 6 or 7. Kind of hard to see down there. But it brings up first down and goal nonetheless. And the Hawks, who are already up 4 possessions, are knocking on the door for their 5th touchdown of the game. Herbert shotgun formation, 3 receivers out wide. Play action, Herbert looking for somebody, scrambling to his right. He's got time, into the end zone, touchdown! And there it is again, Matt, that pocket presence. He doesn't collapse under pressure. That's the 4th touchdown pass of the game for Caleb Herbert.
Is that 19-2 now?
19 touchdowns to 2 interceptions on the season. Mcnamara's extra point up and good.
What a pro-level effort to not only have your pocket collapse, but be able to scramble, fake the defender right there in your face, rolling out to wind up throwing a passing touchdown to your receiver wide open in the end zone. That's some top 10 play qualification right there.
And you got to credit Noah Burdick, too. I know you mentioned receiver wide open in the end zone. But Burdick kept going with that play, didn't give up, and found space. Was able to haul in the touchdown catch. 35-0 Hawks. Still here in the first half of play. McNamara's kick through the back of the end zone for a touchback, and Desert Ridge will start at their own 20. Some more shout-outs to our sponsors. Thank you to our platinum sponsor, Dr. Bob Allen and Deseret Family Medicine, for their support, taking care of your family's healthcare needs. Thank you to our platinum sponsor, Epic Systems, who is a proud supporter of the Highland Hawks. See Epic Systems for all your automation, home theater, and audio-video needs. Visit them at www.epicavaz.com. Make your business or home system an Epic system. And again, Matt, they're a great example of how good this Highland Hawks defense is at stopping the ball at the line of scrimmage.
You don't get very many poised high school football defenses that are able to recognize a play that fast and crash on the ball, not only filling the correct gaps, but flooding and flying to the ball carrier. And as you can see there, you can easily notice that coach stresses gang tackling. Even if one guy is known for bringing someone down, the whole team is there just in case.
Again, Lucas Wright on the ground, unable to get anywhere. I believe Cord Krisman in there on the tackle, or one of a couple of Hawks in there on the tackle. Brings up 3rd down and 11, and the cowbells are still ringing. 2 minutes, 53 seconds to go in the half. Hawks up 5 scores. Schmidt under center, takes the snap. Looking down the field, hit as he throws, incomplete. Cade Kamak in coverage for the Hawks. The pass was intended for Andrew Chino. Couldn't track it down. Brings up 4th down and 11. The Hawks will get the ball back again with 2:31 to go. And Matt, what do you think here? You trying to punch it into the end zone and go into the half with a dominant 42-0 lead?
Oh, absolutely. Run it up on senior night. Why not? You're already up 5. What's 6 isn't going to do?
And the punt is blocked! And it's sitting in the end zone! Touchdown or safety or touchback. Let's see what they rule it. They're going to rule it a touchback. It went out the side of the end zone. That was so close to being a blocked punt for a touchdown. The Hawks have done that a couple of times this year, and now it looks like the referees might talk about it. Looks like they're going to keep it as a touchback, but regardless, a great play again by the Hawks special teams unit. They've been so good all year.
They've been good at all night at getting close to the punt. I'm almost not even surprised that happened with the pressure they bring all night.
You know, Matt, I'm not all that surprised either. Considering how well this special teams unit has played this whole year. And now the ruling on the field is a safety. So it goes out of the back of the end zone and not out of the side of the end zone. The Hawks get 2 more points on the board, and they'll get possession back. It's now a 37-0 lead. And we're trying to figure out who got that punt block. We think it was number 27, Max Davis. We're not positive. Go ahead and correct us if you'd like. We've got a whole comment section there It's the benefit of being here on YouTube.
2 points, already up 5 possessions, and you get the ball back. Man.
Well, the punt is away. It's a high punt, and now what? The referees weren't ready on the field. The whistle was not blown. So we'll punt it away again. Still 2 minutes, 25 seconds left here in the first half of play.
Being down 37-0 with a chance of that increasing. If you're the Desert Ridge coach, what are you preaching to your team in the halftime speech?
Well, I think if you're Highland, I think Brock Farrell is just going to tell his team to keep doing what they're doing. But if you're Desert Ridge, goodness, I'm not sure what you can say. You just try to be fundamentally sound on the field. I mean, you're down 37, possibly more, as Cullimore cutting to the near side and now shifting directions, going back the other way. He's got some space to run past midfield, trying to make some more happen. Finally tackled at the Jaguars' 40-yard line.
If you were watching closely, on that cutback, he was waiting for the Forest defender to get closer so that way could sprint out more wide and gain more yardage. What a play on special teams by the man himself, Connor Cullimore.
Cullimore must have run at least 60 yards on that play.
Oh, absolutely.
By that time, he went down to the near side, back to the far side. Herbert in shotgun. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Daniel Wood in the backfield. Quick 3-step drop for Herbert, looking over the middle, and incomplete. Almost intercepted.
Dangerous pass right there. Tight window, double covered. But you know what? Better swatted than intercepted.
Good effort there by number 20, Gabe Segura. Couldn't come up with it. Brings up 2nd down and 10, and we'll see what Brock Farrell and the Highland offense have cooked up here. Three receivers and Wood in the backfield with Herbert, who looks right and is incomplete. A penalty flag in. Let's see what the penalty is.
The receiver was turned around before the ball was even there.
Our producer, Bella Cisneros, thinks that it's roughing the passer. Let's see if she's right. You know, while we have the time, while these referees are talking about the call, a big thanks to our producer, Bella Cisneros, who's here with us every game, whether we're on a live stream or on the radio. She does a great job at everything she does. So 2 penalties on the play, both on the defense. One, I believe, was a hold. The other was a roughing the passer penalty. That's the one that the Hawks will accept. That's a 15-yard penalty, if I'm not mistaken. And another Hawks first down with exactly 2 minutes to go, and the ball is spotted at the Hawks 25-yard line. Herbert takes a snap from the gun. Play action, looking over the middle, incomplete. Hit laid there by number 13, Koa Tuipala. Brings up 2nd down and 10. Well, the Highland student section tonight with Halloween right around the corner, dressed up in their costumes. Highland student section consistently one of the best in the state as Herbert takes a snap in shotgun, bobbles it, and it's corralled by Daniel Wood, who tries to make something happen. and falls forward. Wow. It was like he went into a vortex there, went in at the
almost
the
disappeared.
27-yard line and popped out around the 23.
Almost tackled for a loss of 3 yards and got back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, the Hawks take a timeout here with 1:39 left in the quarter. Sorry about that, Matt.
Oh, no worries.
Up 37-0 here on senior night in Gilbert, Arizona on the campus of Highland High School. If you've just joined us, well, we welcome you in. My name is Jordan Lank, alongside my partner Matt Tydinko, filling in for Jeff Griffith tonight.
Great to be with you.
Great to have you here, Matt. We love you. We love having you here.
Love you all too.
Matt is actually normally down on the field shooting game film for the Hawks. Their huddle camera down in the end zone. You may be able to see it in certain camera shots. He also spends some of his time on the top of the press box shooting a 50-yard angle on huddle as well. But Matt, we like you down here in the booth.
I love being here, you know, being able to commentate alongside you, being able to see our producer Bella, who does so much for this team, so much for us.
Absolutely. Herbert set up in shotgun, trips out to the right, sends Daniel Wood in motion to the left. Now all alone in the backfield. Herbert looking right, plenty of time. Looking down the field, end zone, incomplete. Good coverage there by Desert Ridge. Was looking for Zimmerman in the end zone, couldn't connect.
You know, Jordan, with all the work Bella puts into this, they should let her pad up and play. Let us pad up one game.
I think Bella would make a fantastic quarterback. Bella's shaking her head. She says no. She says she wants to play on the line. All right. To each her own. Austin McNamara out for a field goal. Up and good. Oh, no good. Check that. He missed it. Pulled it right, kept it flat, and the Hawks, for the first time in this game, do not score on a drive.
That's what I was going to say. Their first scoreless drive. It's a weird occurrence for the Knights pattern.
Well, no matter. They're up by 37 points anyway. Ho-hum.
Even when they tried to go for some 3 points right there, they miss. As I think it may have been blocked a little.
Was it tipped to the line?
I believe so.
That would make sense as to why it was so flat. It was a pretty lengthy kick, however. Desert Ridge takes over at their own 20. Cooper Schmidt in shotgun formation. 4 receivers, 3 out left. And Schmidt keeps it. Carries up the gut, dives forward. Gains about 5 to 6 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 4. Ball spotted at the 26. 1 minute and 8 seconds to go in the second half. Well, stay tuned for halftime. We'll have a quick little recap of the first half for you. There's now some power running there by Desert Ridge. And a first down by number 20, Gabe Segura. Cade Kamak in on the tackle for Highland. Now touching on Gabe Segura. 5'11", 205-pound senior. Coming into tonight, 32 carries, 111 yards on the season and 1 touchdown. Last week versus Mountain Point, 13 carries for 53 yards. And now an official timeout on the field. As
Looks
there's
like
an injured player down. Number 77, Monai West. West, a valuable member of that Hawks defensive line. 5'10", 217 pounds. He's a big boy up there. And West down in between the 35 and 40-yard lines of Desert Ridge, being tended to by the athletic training staff and the coaching staff. Coach Farrell out there. And West still down on his back. Now, as always, we hope that everything is okay with Monai. It's a good thing West isn't a senior, because to be hurt on senior night in your senior night game might be one of the worst ways to go out.
Especially knowing playoffs is right around the corner.
Oh, absolutely.
You want to be 100% healthy when that time comes around.
Well, unless something really drastic happens, it's looking like Highland is going to have a home playoff game for the second straight year in the first round. And if they stay in that top four, it's likely that they'll continue to have some home playoff games depending on who they play, as now Monai West being helped off the field by a couple of trainers.
Major support from his teammates. Hopefully everything is all right.
And Desert Ridge hit in the backfield. Connor Cullimore on the tackle, and now the Jaguars trying to get to the line quickly with under 20 seconds to go. Snap, fake throw, now down the sideline, incomplete, and Cade Kamak might have been able to get under that ball and intercept it. However, it falls incomplete.
If I have my stats down correctly from last week, Connor Cullimore had 15 tackles, an interception, a fumble recovery, and a forced fumble. And he's had multiple games where he's had 15 or plus tackles, which is an amazing amount of tackles considering the fact that he plays offense, defense, and special teams.
Right you are, Matt. 15 total tackles last week. 8 solo, 7 assisted. As the Jaguars punt it away on fourth down. And Connor Cullimore will keep going on his feet. Thought I heard a whistle there.
And he's still going.
And now, finally, that is the end of the first half. So it was absolutely controlled by Highland. The score is 37-0 in favor of the Hawks here on senior night. Stay tuned. We'll have a halftime recap for you when we come back.
program this year is entitled I Am, and it features the music of Andrew Royce Jr. Competition season is now in full swing for all Arizona marching bands, and your Highland High School marching band is right in the middle of it all. Highlights of the season so far have been rave reviews from all the judges at the Mark the Ridge Invitational in Glendale and the University of Arizona Band Day in Tucson. High score for music performance and the Kings Award for the audience favorite at the Highland Marching Invitational, and a 6th place finish at the Big Orange Classic, a Western Band Association Southwest Regional Championship tournament held in Riverside, California last weekend. The Highland Band will be competing again tomorrow at Gilbert High School's Tiger Pride Invitational, where the band has a performance time of 8:30 tomorrow night. Tickets are still available through the Gilbert High School Band Boosters, and we welcome you to wear your teal. Come on out and show your support for the band as they march in their final qualifying tournament tomorrow night. And now, ladies and gentlemen, you know what to do. Under the field direction of drum majors Reagan Watkins, Michael Egelberger, and Blake Hammond, please welcome what continues to be one of the finest marching programs in the Southwest United States. This is your Highland High School Marching Band! Drum major Reagan Watkins, is your band ready? Performing their 2018 program, I Am, Highland High School Marching Band, you may take the field for your performance.
Make sure you cut the camera 3, Bella.
Okay, let's go. Pascal, let's go. We're on the side. You got it? Is it ready?
Yeah, we just have to pull this up. Pull this up right here.
Oh, it's serious right here. Okay, we'll mute it real quick.
All right, up first, make some noise. It's Ducky Momo on the red team. Give it up for Ducky Momo. Oh, that's a solid kick, Ducky. Oh, got a nice, generous roll, too. Way to go, Ducky. All right, next up, it's the blue team. Give it up for Casey Seatown. Casey Seatown, go ahead and punt away. Oh, that's solid. Whoa, careful. Almost got the athletic director, Rod Houston. Careful on the sideline there. All right. Now it's time for the brown team. Give it up for Isaac Clough kicking for the brown team. Oh, that was, well, definitely for style points. Isaac Clough wins on style points. Fans, congratulations to Ducky Momo and the red team. She has just won 3 haircuts for a full year. Thank you, kickers. Thank you again to Cost Cutters for sponsoring tonight's halftime contest. With locations across Arizona and also very near you, stop in today to Cost Cutters. Okay, fans, stick around because here we go for a huge surprise. We would like to thank all of the players, family, and friends who have bought a ticket for the big raffle to help support the Football Booster Club. For the rules and based on the amount of ticket sales, the cash prize is valued at $1,500. That's right, $1,500. The Hawaii trip and home theater system from Epic Systems stay the same. We will be drawing the following order. First up, the cash prize. The cash prize will be going to, I'm going to dig deep here for the cash prize. Drum roll, please. Oh, the band's still out there. When the band gets back, they'll give you an amazing drum roll. The cash prize of $1,500 goes to Hank Jansen. Hank Jansen, you have won $1,500. Congratulations, Hank. Next up, the Marriott Hawaii Vacation Stay. Here we go. We're going to be drawing here. Let's see. Oh, we're mixing them up a lot. Oh, so many entries. Here we go. The winner for the Marriott Hawaii Vacation Stay is Gene Grimes. Gene Grimes, you have won the Marriott Hawaii Vacation Stay. That's going to be a sweet trip. You're going to need friends to go. I am available. Thank you. All right, next up, the final drawing for the home theater system goes to drum roll fans. Bang on those stands. Here we go. Student section, I need to hear you out there. All right. The winner of the home theater system is going to go to James Goodhow. James Goodnow, or Goodhow. James Goodnow. All right, I tell you what, if you are a winner that I call, please meet at the north end zone to find out how to claim your prize. Fans, give it up for the Highland Hawk Booster Club, and more importantly, give it up for your Highland Hawk football team right here. It's time for the second half. Get fired up. Go Hawks, rise and soar.
Well, welcome back for the second half of play here at Highland High School in Gilbert, Arizona. Game number 10 on the year for the Hawks. Coming into tonight 8-1, and it's looking pretty good for the Hawks to get out of the regular season at a 9-1 clip. They currently lead the Desert Ridge Jaguars by a score of 37-0. The Jaguars will get the opening kickoff of the second quarter.
What a dominant first half.
Oh, absolutely. I think dominant might be an understatement.
I agree with you.
This Highland team has been so good, they're going to have a second half to try to pad that 37-0 lead if they so choose. But for now, Austin McNamara's kick through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
This kid has a boot.
Oh, he sure does. And that UCLA offer, as we mentioned before in the game, ladies and gentlemen, is Austin McNamara's 6th Division I offer. Also has offers from Arizona, Arizona State, BYU, Nebraska, and Missouri. Now we can add UCLA to that list, his 3rd Pac-12 school. Well, the Jaguars come out with Schmidt under center, and they're going to give it to their back, who is unable to get anywhere.
Familiar sight to see them stopped so fast.
Gets a yard on the play, brings up 2nd down and 9. Well, Matt, it's been beautiful here in the Valley lately, and that certainly is the case tonight as well. A beautiful 74 degrees here. This is what I'm talking about. This is the weather I want to be outside in, not that 95-degree heat we had in the early parts of the season.
Oh, yeah. Come around Halloween time, that's when it gets much cooler.
Especially at night.
It's kind of warm during the day.
Wow, it's supposed to get down to 57 degrees tonight.
I'm here. I'm here for that.
I'm very here for that as well.
Sign me up.
Well, now it's 3rd down and 4 after a gain of about 4.5 yards by the Jaguars. And even here, up 37 points, you can hear, ladies and gentlemen, the cowbell's still going to the outside, and unable to get anywhere is number 14, Andrew Chino. Daniel Wood in on the tackle for Highland.
What a way to chase down the ball carrier.
That brings up 4th down. Looks like a new punt returner as well out there for the Hawks. Definitely doesn't look like Connor Cullimore.
I think that's a smart decision with playoffs coming up and Connor being one of your biggest weapons. I think it's smart for them to rest him the rest of this game.
Now a fair catch called for. And it was Noah Burdick out there to return the punt. However, he calls a fair catch inside the 45-yard line, marked down at the Highland 42. So again, Matt, great field position for Highland to start off another drive. They've only gone scoreless on one drive so far, and that was the drive where Austin McNamara missed a pretty long field goal. They keep it on the ground for Cullimore, who goes to the outside, gets the 1st down and more, and is upended out across the Jaguars' 40-yard line, about the 38. And what a surprise. Connor Cullimore on the first play from scrimmage is able to get some plus yardage.
Is that a surprise for you, though?
Absolutely not. You couldn't sense my sarcasm?
I was hoping you were. Because that man's a tank.
Absolutely is. Herbert shotgun formation. They give it to Connor again, finding some space and tackled after a gain of 6 or 7 yards. As Daniel Wood comes jogging in from the sideline. And Connor Cullimore comes out after back-to-back rushing plays.
Second down and 5 after a gain of 5 by Cullimore. Caleb Herbert looking to the sideline. And as we are accustomed to, he'll set up in shotgun formation. Wood behind him, 2 receivers out left. That's Schroeder and Zimmerman. However, they'll give it to Daniel Wood. Penalty flag down now near side of the field. And Wood, who keeps going, finally breaks free. Wow, Daniel Wood still on his feet, and he's going to get enough blocks to get into the end zone. But we'll have to see if it counts, as there is a penalty marker down. And now an official has also thrown his hat, so 2 penalties on the play, I presume. We'll have to see if the touchdown stands, and it looks like Highland knows that it's not going to. Wow, Matt, that's a shame because Daniel Wood really broke free from some tackles there. An unbelievable job.
5+ defenders, and he still got away.
Okay, so it looks like we're about to get word. So a personal foul on the offense that is declined. And an illegal motion against the Hawks. That's the penalty that's accepted. It's a 5-yard penalty and turns into 2nd down and 10 and negates an impressive touchdown run by Daniel Wood. Two receivers out right for Herbert. Burdick here on the near sideline alone. They give it to Daniel Wood. Check that, Connor Cullimore, who's finding some space, and he is going to get into the end zone. Touchdown.
That's too easy for him.
He just found a seam and shot right up.
He flipped on that switch as soon as he saw that gap.
And for Connor Cullimore, that's another touchdown on the season. I do believe, however, that is his first of the night. It's been hard to keep track of who's got how many touchdowns tonight with how many there have been, as this one is the 6th one of the night. Austin McNamara's extra point is up and through, and the Hawks take a 44-0 lead over the Desert Ridge Jaguars. How about this, Matt? It's been incredible.
First drive of the second half is a score. I think Desert Ridge now is playing for pride.
I'm sure Desert Ridge thinks they're still playing for a playoff spot. And maybe some late game offense can help them out with that. But it's kind of hard to do that, Matt, when all you really have on your team is a running back. There's no passing game.
No passing game at all. 4 passing touchdowns throughout 10 weeks of football. That goes to show how much they rely on their running game.
McNamara getting ready to boot it away. Takes a bounce at the 5 and goes into the end zone for a touchdown. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you very, very much for joining us all season long here on our YouTube channel, Hawks Nest TV, as well as on the road on Mixlr. It's been an absolute pleasure to broadcast these games for you. It's been an absolute pleasure for me as well to serve as the voice of Highland Hawks football over the live streams and radio broadcasts.
What do you do here on offense? We've realized how fast their run game gets shut down, and their passing game there's a lot of pressure around it. And how many completions have there been tonight in their passing attempts?
You know, I'm not sure if there's been any.
That's what
now that I think about it, I'm not sure they completed a pass. Maybe a screen earlier in the game.
It's rough. It's rough.
An incomplete pass there, and it looks like an injured Jaguar near side.
Gets up pretty fast.
Yeah, number 15, Aiden Lee. He's limping off the field. Looks like a lower body injury, possibly that right leg. And athletic trainers out there tending to him. And now with a break in the action, you may be at home watching Game 3 of the World Series tonight. But if you're not and you have it on DVR, plug your ears. This is fair warning. Spoiler alert. At the top of the 10th inning, the Red Sox, who are visiting the Dodgers here, are tied at 1 apiece. And that's top 10, Game 3 of the 2018 World Series. Got to get that baseball update in. Desert Ridge keeps it on the ground.
Another rush attempt. Shut down pass.
What else is new, honestly? Seems like this Highland defense won't let anything past them. Brings up 4th down and 6. And Desert Ridge is going to punt it away. And Noah Burdick is going to head back out there. Burdick set up at his own 44. The punt gets away. Burdick has to range back, lets it bounce inside the 30, and that's where it will roll to the 26-yard line, where it's down by Desert Ridge. Number 31, Kenny Gamage. And the Hawks will bring out their potent offense, up 44-0. About halfway through this third quarter.
Everything is clicking for them offensively, defensively, special teams. They're a very sound team tonight, and I think it's the perfect shape to take going into the playoffs starting next week.
3 receivers out to the right for Highland, and now True Tanner in. The junior quarterback, Tanner, gives up the middle to Max Davis, who's got room to run. Davis, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. How about that?
Good Lord. One play.
That's Davis's 2nd touchdown of the night. I believe he also had that blocked punt for a safety.
Absolutely.
What a game for the sophomore. And the Hawks keep piling it on. Quite honestly, I don't think 70 points is too far away. With an extra point here, Austin McNamara can make it 51-0. It's up and good.
With the ease that they're scoring at, 70 is right around the corner.
And now there is a running clock. The threshold for the running clock, I think, is 45. And if that is the case, that's why the running clock has been employed here. A 51-0 lead for the Highland Hawks over Desert Ridge.
Well, it's been a fun game if you're a Highland fan. And we assume that most of you watching are Hawks fans. So, just for the sake of conversation, how about in the comments, why don't you all give us your favorite moment of this Hawks season as we are here in the last regular season game of the year. If anything stands out, go ahead and comment. We might even read your comment on the air. Make it a talking point here. McNamara's kick turns into a touchback. Well, thank you to the following restaurants for feeding our varsity players on Friday nights: BJ's Brewhouse, Oregano's, Native Grill, Venetia's Pizza, Texas Roadhouse, Rosati's Pizza, Raising Cane's, Salerno's, and Rudy's Barbecue.
Man, you're getting me hungry.
Well, it's getting late, almost dinner time for us, Matt, as now a first down by Desert Ridge. Boy, I think they needed that for their confidence's sake.
Absolutely.
And now another injured Jaguar, this time number 77, Dante Smith. Smith just a sophomore. First down and 10, Desert Ridge.
Definitely their most electrifying run for their team tonight. I believe you go in and show that you're still here to play football by scoring on this drive.
Yeah, down 51 points and being held scoreless here almost through three quarters as... Oh, does Highland have the football or are they marked down? Looks like they're going to call it down. Ah, that football, popped out of nowhere. Had it been a fumble, Cade Kamak was streaking towards the end zone, and it would have been quite the exclamation for him on his senior night.
A lot of players playing hard tonight.
Yeah, and as we said at the top of the broadcast, I mean, you want to go hard on your senior night. You want to put your best foot forward. Put your best performance of the season out, yeah.
All 4 years after you graduate. You're going to be thinking about it for quite some time. I still think about my football days.
Now keeping and carrying as number 21, Kobe Hathcock. Hathcock, related to head coach Jeremy Hathcock. Jake Fallagrady on the tackle.
They're actually getting closer and closer to the end zone on this drive.
Yeah, it looks like most of the backups are in now for the Hawks. A lot of the starters out of the game.
End of the third quarter.
As clocks have hit, the clock has hit 00, and that ends the third quarter of play. If you're just joining us, you have missed some offense. Go ahead and rewind and watch this one back. It's been fun if you're a Hawks fan. Highland leading at 51-0 over their crosstown rival, the Desert Ridge Jaguars. The momentum has really shifted in this rivalry. We touched on it earlier. The Hawks and the Jaguars have played each of the last 3 seasons, and in each of the last 3 seasons, the Hawks have taken a loss. And it's been pretty lopsided every time. In 2015, it was a 35-7 win
for Desert Ridge. In 2016, it was a 36-16 win for Desert Ridge. And last year, it was a 21-7 win. And this year, Highland making up for that. And now Desert Ridge won't get shut out. They're into the end zone for a passing touchdown. Or are they? There is a penalty marker down.
Looks as if it's coming back.
And it is.
Question for you, Jordan. So, with the running clock, if they were to score and break that threshold or come back over, would it stop running?
It would. So, if that 45-point margin is broken, the clock does stop. There's no longer a running clock, and of course, without a Highland score here, that clock would keep running. It's an offensive penalty here. Oh, and now looks like unsportsmanlike conduct for taunting on the offense, and they're going to back it up even more.
Wow.
It's going to be second and very long. That's a big penalty, too, for Highland's defense. They certainly want to preserve this shutout. On the ground there for Dominic Salazar, number 28, 5'7", 160-pound senior. Salazar, kind of the complimentary running back to Lucas Wright on the season, coming in 77 carries, 328 yards, and a rushing touchdown. Also 7 receptions for 21 yards on the season. As you can hear on third down, it's getting loud again, and it looks like the Hawks have forced another fourth.
Even when you think Desert Ridge scores, they go 3 and out.
Yeah, quite an unfortunate turn of events for the Jaguars. They thought they were in the end zone. Got a couple of penalties, one big one, including a taunting call. That brings up 4th down and 11, and down 51 points. Why would you punt? Play action, looking down the field, incomplete. Kobe Hathcock in there passing the ball. Couldn't get a man under it, and the Hawks take over on downs. It's a 51-point lead here in game number 10, week number 11 in this 6A varsity football season. And there's 8 minutes and 30 seconds to go. That clock will keep running as long as Desert Ridge doesn't score.
Don't expect Highland to give up or let go.
Again, ladies and gentlemen.
Looks like a new quarterback.
Yeah, True Tanner in the game. He hands off to Max Davis. Gets a couple of yards before he's tackled. Again, if you're watching on the broadcast, this is game number 10 of the season, the last regular season game of the year before the Hawks inevitably play in the playoffs next week as a man down for the Jaguars. If you've watched with us or been to a couple of games this season, or even if you're from out of state and you've tuned into our broadcasts, first of all, we appreciate you. Second of all, go ahead and comment in the live comments box what your favorite memory of Highland Hawks football is of this season. We'll go ahead and read.
Have to be? What would your favorite moment be?
My favorite moment? You know, that's honestly a great question. There's been so many good games. And I think for Highland, That honestly is a really good question, because that game in week 2 against Hamilton, where a lot of people thought that the Huskies were going to come here to Highland and really hurt the Hawks. We apologize for those technical difficulties there. Possibly a power surge? That was weird. Anyway, my favorite memory, I think, was the Hamilton game that they played on 2 separate days. We thought Hamilton was going to come in here and really beat Highland up. But at the end of the 2 days, it was Highland who walked out with a 49-28 victory. That was definitely a talking point of the season, definitely a defining win.
A very strange game. Turnout. 2 games.
Yeah, it was
one outcome.
Was really, really bizarre. Of course, we had that lightning delay. We had to cancel play here on Friday night. They resumed on Saturday morning. We were unable to pick up the broadcast as Davis on the ground. 7 minutes, 30 seconds to go. That was definitely a peculiar one. I think last week's game against Queen Creek was a great one as well, because it was definitely a huge game in terms of playoff implications and seeding. And the Hawks last week, they were ranked number 6 in the state. Queen Creek ranked number 3. It's a huge win for Highland. And if that wasn't a big moment in the season, I'm not sure what was. And I think ultimately that big win over Queen Creek, as the Hawks unable to gain any yards there, is one of the really main reasons why Highland is in this top 4 threshold right now. And I think after this game, and we'll see tomorrow when the final playoff seedings are put out, I think that they could even move up.
Oh, no doubt.
I think watching these guys grow as players as well has been really fun to watch. I mean, the offensive line has been fantastic. The chemistry between starting quarterback Caleb Herbert and his wide receivers has been fantastic. Watching Connor Cullimore absolutely ball out week after week has been great.
Watching
every
him and Caleb.
aspect of this team is so much fun to watch.
Speaking on player growth, from last year when I started to this year, I could tell Caleb Herbert and Connor Cullimore were something special for this offense, and it's cool to have seen that flourished even more here this season and going into the playoffs next week.
Austin McNamara now out to punt. It's 4th down and about 3. This will be the first punt of the game for the Hawks. Great punt, fair caught inside the 20 at about the 19. Looks like number 16, Jared Nichols, made the play on the fair catch. Some updates from around the league. The number 3 Liberty Lions, who the Hawks are chasing in the rankings, currently lead the Chaparral Firebirds 48-21. That game definitely has some seeding implications for Highland. With 10 minutes left in the 4th quarter, looks like Liberty might be able to hold on to that one. Don't want to say any lead is safe. Of course, 27 points, though, does look pretty good with 10 minutes to go. We'll look for Pinnacle and Chandler scores as well. Well, Pinnacle is leading in their game as of 24 minutes ago, 35-7. Let's see if that's changed. Doesn't look like it.
So Pinnacle looking to stay on top in that game. And how about the Chandler Wolves?
Oh, there might be a pass interference.
Chandler playing in their rivalry game this week against Hamilton. Unable to find any updates on that game as of right now. Let's see, I'll dig a little bit deeper. Okay, 53 minutes ago, it was halftime in the Chandler and Hamilton game. And remember, this is important for the Hawks because Chandler ranked number 1 in the state. Chandler leading Hamilton 28-0 at the half, but that was as of almost an hour ago. It's now 3 minutes and 8 seconds left in this one. The Hawks leading 51-0. Kept on the ground for the Jaguars. At the 45, now across midfield. And chugging along to the 35-yard line of the Hawks is number 21, Kobe Hathcock. Now a penalty flag in on the play. Maybe some more unsportsmanlike conduct after the play. Looked like things might have gotten a little chippy down there.
Surprised to see them call that so late in this game with the way this game's going.
I've got to keep the order.
Absolutely.
Clock ticking down to 2 minutes now. As I'm not sure we're going to see much more football here with the running clock. Matt, what's been your biggest takeaway tonight?
How strong this Highland defense can be. We saw it last week against the dominant Queen Creek that was held to just 7 points. And then this week, shutting out Desert Ridge 51-0. I think we all expected Highland to perform well, but to shut out someone 51-0 exceeded all expectations.
Well, it ain't over till it's over. And the Jaguars into Hawks territory. Now the clock ticking under 35 seconds. All is almost all said and done. And Hathcock is going to take off. He gets the first down and is finally tackled out of bounds. That won't do much, however. As now this will likely be the final play from scrimmage. The snap and just a throw to the end zone. Incomplete, and the ball game is over. Your Highland Hawks preserve the shutout. It's a 51-0 victory here in Week 11, and the Hawks are flying high into the playoffs.
We would like to thank our platinum sponsors, Allen Family Medicine. Thank you to our platinum sponsor, Greg Allen and Allen Family Medicine, for their support when it comes to your family's health. Allen Family Medicine is there for you. Allen Family Medicine. Thank you to our platinum sponsor, Alicia Holman and UCI Realty, for their support. For all your real estate needs, think of Alicia Holman and UCI Realty. They will help you make a touchdown when buying or selling your home. Thank you to our platinum sponsor, Dr. Bob Allen and Deseret Family Medicine, for their support, taking care of your family's healthcare needs. Epic Systems. Thank you to our platinum sponsor, Epic Systems. Epic Systems is a proud sponsor of the Highland Hawks. See Epic Systems for all your automation, home theater, and audio video needs. Visit them at www.epicavaz.com. Make your business or home system an Epic system. Also, a shout out to Wallen and Hester Law Firm, Deseret Aesthetics and Lifestyle, Dr. Greg Allen, Legacy Funeral Home, Todd Allen and Family, and to our sponsors that feed our boys before the game, BJ's Brewhouse, Oregano's, Native Grill, Venezia's Pizza, Texas Roadhouse, Rosati's Pizza, Raising Cane's, Salerno's, and Rudy's Barbecue. Thank you to all of our sponsors.
Kevin McCabe's hosting the 98.7 show, and we're on.
Let's go!
Let me know when you're done. Okay, tomorrow.
Still beginning.
Okay, I will go to the playoff reveal. They reveal who we play at like 10:30. We'll talk to Coach Ward after he talks to his wife. There may be a place where you can go and like watch the show to see who we get, but I'm going to be at the actual review. But I don't think they're going to tell us we're going to play till like 11. So 8 a.m. tomorrow, and then we're going to Chick-fil-A.
Let's go!
Quiet. How about those region champs?
Hey, hold it down. Hey, on 3, we're going to scream region champs, okay? Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Region champs!
Down on the field with senior offensive lineman Colton Allen. A huge win tonight against Desert Ridge. 50-0 season. What's it like to be region champs?
Well, it's amazing. First time Highland's ever done it. Feels good. All coming to pass for us. Awesome feeling.
Everybody on this team would credit the offensive line. It seems like everybody praising you guys. What is it like to be able to protect such a good quarterback in Caleb Herbert and give him the time that he needs to make the great passes that he makes?
Love protecting guys behind us, but start Saturday, watch film, correct what we do. Monday, work hard, work on the sled, go over through our plays, do everything, fix what we do wrong. And every day it's a grind for us, and we love what we do, protecting the men behind us, yeah.
Caleb, there is there is no doubt in my mind, or in anybody's mind, I don't, in the 6A region, or in the 6A division, that you guys are, and you're heading into the playoffs at 9-1. Are you going to change anything in the playoffs?
No, we're just going to come together like we do before every game. We're going to come together as a team and as a unit. That's how we win every game, is we're together as a unit. And without playing as a unit, there's nothing we can do.
All right, Colton, well, thank you very much. Enjoy it, Region Champs. We'll be back with head coach Brock Farrell in just a second. Jordan Lang back here with head coach Brock Farrell. Coach, 9-1 on the year, a big win against the crosstown rivals, and in big, 51-0 is certainly grand fashion. How does it feel to be region champs?
It feels great. I'm super happy for the kids. They believe they could do this, and they've been putting forth the effort and the passion and practice to do it. And so I am just super thrilled for them. It's awesome.
Well, I was out at practice on Wednesday. You guys looked great, and it definitely showed in the game tonight. What was the thought going in? I know they have a big runner on their team, Lucas Wright.
Right.
What was the concept in stopping him?
Really, I think the biggest thing is we were able to use our JV and a few of our freshmen to play their scout offense, and we were able to get a lot more reps for our defense, because Coach Hathcock does a great job of literally every game. It's like a new offense, and he has so many different formations, and he just has all these nuances that there's no way you can show it all. So we just tried to give him as many looks as we could and give him as simple rules as we could, and then just tackle well. And we felt that if we could tackle well and not give up big plays, that they'd have a hard time scoring on us, and it worked.
I asked the same question to Colton Allen, and he told me that he thinks that teams in 6A know who you guys are. At number 4 in the state, with Chandler, with Pinnacle, with Liberty above you guys. Can you hang with them?
I think if we play like we have the last 2 weeks, we will have a chance to beat anybody. Obviously, there's some really good football teams here in Arizona, and I think the road to the championship, you're going to have to beat like 2 Elite 11 quarterbacks to do it. So the challenge is definitely in front of us, but we don't want to look past whoever our opponent is as soon as we find out on Saturday. So there you go.
All right, Coach, region champs, enjoy it. See you next week for the playoffs.
Thank you, Jordan.
All right. Okay. We're doing another one? Does she want another one? Down here on the field again with Caleb Allen.
Correct.
And it's his birthday today, 18th birthday, and what a present for you to be region champs. How does it feel?
Oh, it feels amazing. I couldn't ask for a better birthday. I was a little nervous going into the game because it was my 18th birthday. I didn't know how I was going to take it, but definitely don't want anything else for my birthday. Just a big win in region champs.
Is that all you asked for?
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, you guys do an amazing line on that, or an amazing job, on that offensive line. How do you do it? It seems like Caleb Herbert always has so much time to pass in the pocket.
I think it's our determination. A lot of people told us that we win and lose because of the offensive line, and as a unit, we strongly believe one of the sayings we have is 5 equals 1. 5 linemen equals 1 person, and that's how we try to play.
And it definitely shows on the field. You guys play like a unit. You're so good out there. Going into the playoffs, 9-1 season, a big win against number 15, Desert Ridge. What's the confidence level like?
You know what? We are very confident right now, but you still, next game we could be out, and our goal is a state championship. So we got to stay humble because anyone can beat us now.
All right, Caleb. Well, thank you for your time. Congratulations. Enjoy your 18th birthday and enjoy the region championships.
Thank you.
All right, well, for my co-anchor upstairs, Matt Tydinko, for our producer, Bella Cisneros, for our wonderful cameraman, Jordan Evans, my name is Jordan Lank. We thank you all for tuning in with us all regular season long. The Hawks flying high at 9-1. We'll see you next week.